From the land of conjurers, flying through the internet to your device like a UAP, hauntingly unexplained and downright weird, this is the Spooky Hours. And we are ready to take off in the flash of an eye. Good evening to one and all, wherever and whenever you're listening to this program. I am Jonathan Frost, and joining me, as always, is the medium Ginny Lee, and also, right from the beginning, Alyson, the Priestess of Wonderland. Hello, ladies.
Hello.
Hello.
Happy
You wanna get weird?
Halloween.
Happy Halloween.
Oh,
Do you want to
exactly.
get
You want to get weird.
spooky?
You want to get
Do you want to
spooky.
get spooky? Yeah, there we go.
Weird
right.
tonight. It's the spookiness.
The Spooky Hours. So welcome in, everyone. Is glad to see you all. I hope that all of you are having a wonderful Halloween tonight. And this is the 3-year anniversary for the Witching Hours.
Yeah.
Yay.
I made
So
it.
welcome in.
3
Welcome in.
years.
Holy smokes, 3 years.
What?
Yeah.
How does that feel?
Mm.
Weird. That is weird.
Well, I mean, I guess we go back and, you go back to the, when something was just an idea, it was like, man, it'd be really cool. I think I remember the first idea I had, I wanted to call it the Symposium or something like that.
Oh, yeah, you
The
did.
Symposium. And I just want to have some of my weird friends to come on and talk to me about weird topics. And then it evolved into this. And then I remember we were doing it like once a month. We started off, Jenny. We started off doing it once a month.
Yeah.
And then it was like every other week, and now we do it weekly. And it's been a trip. And I think one of the cool things is all the cool people we've been able to talk to.
Yes.
Mhm.
So many people.
I think that's the best part. There's people like Ron Moorhead that we've had on the show that I listened to talk to Art Bell, and I was like, man, this guy is so interesting, and there's so much really cool information about Bigfoot. And man, that'd be amazing to have a show where you could talk to people like this. And then sure
And then
enough,
we talked to
he
him.
was on the Witching Hours, and
he was
Preston
super
Dennett,
cool.
and
Yeah.
all kinds of new people that we've met that have been super awesome and friends of the program,
And
like
our
Mark Hunter
friends.
Brooks. It's been a great time. So without you guys in chat, and to all of you people listening later, none of this would be possible. We would have quit like after episode 7 or 8 or something. So thank you guys so much for letting us do this, because we have so much fun doing it. And thank you for hanging out and listening to the programs and being interested in what we do. I appreciate it.
Yay.
So we are going to get started with the night. We have some Irene and Danica are going to join us tonight. We're going to do a lot of talking about paranormal investigation and just Halloween stuff in general. And we just like talking. So we're just going to have a fun night hanging out tonight. So we got a great show for you tonight. Be ready for it. We are going to do a giveaway for a Spooky Hours t-shirt, which is available for purchase up on the merch store. If you want one, you can go grab one. It goes away tomorrow. So if you want one, grab it. I'll bring it up a little bit later. Well, I guess I could bring it up now. We could show it on I could present my screen here.
We got a
share
hype train going. Keisha and
Nice.
Shadow Max and Fantasy Animal Vegan have been gifting subs. Thank you guys.
So here we go. That is the Spooky Hours. We have the Spooky Hours logo on the top, and then on the back we have
Want to get spooky.
Love it. So moving forward, that'll be our Halloween show every year. We'll do a Spooky Hours and do ghost stories and spooky guests and anniversary stuff. It's kind of weird because like we want to do a Halloween special, but it's also our anniversary. So it's like we've got all kinds of stuff going on. But it's always a fun night because we always try to book people who are friends to come on that we can hang out with on for a show like this. So there we go. We have the Spooky Classic Tee. It's over there at streamlabs.com/the Witching Hours podcast /merch, or you can go to the witchinghourspodcast.com and click on the merch. That's a whole lot easier, a whole lot less to remember. So if you want to get spooky, you can go check out that
somebody
shirt.
is going to win that shirt tonight.
We're going to give one away.
Awesome.
Right. So there we go.
Good luck, everybody.
Yeah. So we'll get there. We'll I don't know. We'll have Jenny spin a wheel or something. We'll do
you know how we do.
That's the show. So
All right, well, what's the news today?
that's what I was getting ready to say. We ready to get into some news?
Yes. Oh my. Joe just gifted 5 subs. Holy moly.
I'm not even in chat. Everything's blowing up. I'm over here. I'm like the Wizard of Oz back here, just pulling all kinds of levers, and I don't know what the heck's going on. Thank you guys so much. Thank you, Shadow Max, for the 100 bits. We got our hype train going, level 2. Thank you guys so much.
Shadow Max, Joe, Keisha, Fantasy Animal Vegan, all been gifting subs. Shadow Max got in with the biddies.
75% way to our sub goal that I don't even know what we had. Thank you, Joe. Thank you, Keisha, so much. Fantasy Animal Vegan. Thank you guys. We appreciate it so much.
Thank you.
I don't know any of my goals either.
I think we were watching your stream last night. It was like, oh, I didn't even know. We're like, yeah, same thing. Especially since for this show, we don't use like Streamlabs and stuff anymore. We use StreamYard. And so it kind of away from that a little bit. So thank you guys. Hype Train level 4. You guys are amazing.
Holy moly.
Happy Halloween to you guys. Thank you so much. And we had a good Halloween. I hope everybody else had a Halloween right before we get into the news. We took the not the little kiddos, the bigger kiddos now, one of the bigger kiddos. It was as you said earlier, Alyson would be proud. We had a group going around as the Mad Hatter, the White Rabbit, and Alice from Alice in Wonderland.
Yes.
Yeah. So we had a good crew going around. And then I was in my full get up Michael Myers attire, and Jenny is going as Laurie Stroud.
Yep.
We had a fun night tonight, and I hope you guys enjoyed your Halloween too. We are about to beat our last record. It says about to beat our last hype train record. Thank you guys so much. All right, so for the news tonight, outnumbered by puppets, depopulated village in Japan crafts dolls for a sense of life. So let's get into that. With most of the population gone, residents of one village in Japan have come up with a novel plan to make it less lonely, replacing people with puppets. Fewer than
I think I've seen this movie.
Fewer than 60 people live in Ichinono, and most of them are past retirement age as younger people have moved away for jobs or education. So using old clothes, fabrics, and mannequins, residents have stitched together their own population of puppets to keep them company. Some of the puppets ride swings, others push firewood carts, smiling eerily at visitors. We're proudly outnumbered by puppets, Hiseo Yamazaki, an 88-year-old widow, told a news agency. Most families used to have children, but the kids were encouraged to go somewhere else. Now we're paying the price, they added. Japan has the highest percentage of people ages 65 and over in the world.
Oh, really?
And so while the total population is decreasing, the data showed that the population age 65 and over is at a record high of 36.25 million, accounting for 29.3% of the total population.
Their population is going to drop dramatically. That's a new word. Drastically. When all those folks start passing away. My goodness.
Japan's median age has been rising since 1950, when the figure reaching to 49.1% in 2023. So a town, and there's pictures, I can post some of them to Discord, of puppets all over the town to keep you company as you walk around.
Yeah. That's definitely a spooky story.
Number 2, scientists revive pig brains an hour after death with experimental method. Scientists in China
you did find some really weird stories today.
It's Halloween. We got
pig brains
stories. We got the stories tonight.
Speaking of, let me add this for a second. I was subbing in a biology class today, and on the desk, the teacher's desk, there was a little jar with a tiny baby pig fetus and some formaldehyde. So continue.
That's nice. There we go.
Happy Halloween.
So scientists in China have pulled off a remarkable feat worthy of Victor Frankenstein, reviving pigs' brains up to 50 minutes after complete loss of blood circulation. The macabre accomplishment could someday lead to advances in keeping people's brains intact and healthy for longer while resuscitating them. And the story goes on to find essentially like some of this information is going to be very good for trying to when they resuscitate people who've had heart attacks. So they found that things to do with the liver, like if the liver is healthier, then it's actually easier to bring people back from resuscitating them from a heart attack. And if the liver is in more poor condition, it can be more difficult to bring them back. So there we go. A story right out of Dr. Frankenstein's laboratory there. Yeah. And not to be outdone, researchers say they are close to successfully crafting synthetic life forms. Story number 3. Although Dr. Frankenstein created new forms of life in grisly experiments that relied heavily on combining spare parts, Dutch researchers say that they are now attempting to build synthetic life forms from the ground up and potentially more efficiently than nature. As life evolved on Earth, each step forward was built on the last, leading to increasingly complex but sometimes inefficient systems. Now, BASIC, B-A-S-Y-C.
Okay, hold on. Stop a second. Stop right there.
Yep.
Did the article say more efficient than nature?
That's what the article said. Yeah.
I'm trying not to lose it. I mean, come on now, people. We know we're a hot mess. You think we're gonna make something that's better than nature? Okay, I'm gonna stop. Go.
Now, BASIC, Building a Synthetic Cell is the name of the company, is a consortium of 6 research institutes working on perfecting the natural process that gives rise to life. In a pair of new papers, their research represents significant new steps in advancement toward that goal. So the end game of the program is to construct synthetic life systems that can grow autonomously, divide, and sustain themselves. It will differ from known living cells, but have these essential features, said University of Groningen professor of biochemistry and team leader Dr. Bert Pullman. So they said they're still more than 10 years away from such a synthetic life-like system. Meanwhile, we learn a lot of biological mechanisms and discover surprising properties that emerge when bringing biological components together. Story number 4. Witches' marks and curses found carved into walls of historic England manor. A set of markings known as witches' marks have been discovered carved into the walls of a historic medieval manor in England. The witches, or apotropaic marks, believed to, I don't know if someone knows that word, I've never seen that before, believed to protect against witches or evil spirits, and other ritual carvings were found in Gainsborough Old Hall in Lincolnshire in Eastern England. Lincolnshire. In Eastern England. They were discovered during 2 years of research by Rick Berry, a volunteer of English Heritage. Berry found and cataloged roughly 20 carvings in a wide range of designs, mainly in the servants' wing, which dates back to the late 15th century. They include a pentangle, beetle, overlapping bees, also called Marian marks, which some believe to be called Virgin Mary for protection, and hexafoil designs believed to trap demons. Notably, rare curse inscriptions.
There's a lot of stuff going on in that kitchen.
Yeah,
there is. One such inscription was the name of one of the property owners, businessman William Hickman, written upside down. The facing a person's name was thought to curse that person.
Oh, he must have been a real something.
There were also 100 burn marks, with which the organization said was to protect against fire. So, built in the 1400s, the property has been owned and visited by prominent wealthy figures in England, including the family of Sir Thomas Berg II, King Henry VIII, and Queen Catherine Howard. So, witches in the wood there.
That's pretty neat story.
And then finally, our last spooky news of tonight. is an entrance to the underworld discovered beneath a church in Mexico. So, the
Hmm.
ruins of an ancient city in southern Mexico have yielded evidence of long lost underground tunnels. Known as Place of the Dead, the city of Mitla, built by the ancient Zapotec civilization, was said to be situated atop a labyrinth of underground tunnels and caverns known as the entrance to the underworld. The precise location of these tunnels will go on to be lost to time when the city was razed by the Spanish in the 16th century and new
And guess
structures
what
were
got
built
built on top of it?
atop its
A
ruins.
church.
For years, archaeologists attempted to find these mysterious subterranean tunnels, but to no avail. Now, thanks to the advent of electrical resistivity tomography, or ERT,
Sure.
researchers believe that they may have finally located evidence of the Zapotec's enigmatic back door to hell. To
Sweet.
find it, they scanned multiple groups of ruins for signs of subterranean cavities. And they said some of the tunnels and chambers extend to a considerable depth in excess of 15 meters. In the case of the South Group, they're up to 30 meters deep. This is as far as the instruments can penetrate. One chamber under the Church of San Pablo Apostle measures approximately 15 meters long by 10 meters wide. And they say it is possible the tunnels under the church group extend further to the north, east, and south. Possibly they connect to other geophysical places identified under other groups. So whether the treasures that are supposedly buried there are still there will have to remain to be seen.
Let's go get it.
Yeah, there we go. That's exactly what I thought.
Spooky stories tonight there, Frosty.
Any your favorites are the Frankenstein. You're ready to build artificial life there, Jenny? That
No.
seems like what you were for. What about you, Alyson? What do you think about it?
The news stories always throw me for a loop. What are we even doing?
I think my favorite one is possibly the witch marks. I like that one.
Yeah, that was cool.
I really like the village that has all the puppets because all their people. That's pretty.
Yeah.
And that was the spooky news.
Yay.
Yeah.
All
now
right.
we got to get to some moon news.
Yes.
Alyson, what's going on for November?
Well, first of all, I think that October went by way too fast.
Yes.
So I propose that November is 2nd October. And we continue. I mean, the sun's going to be in Scorpio for most of November. We've got our new moon in Scorpio tomorrow morning. And why not just have the spooky vibes for an extra month?
That sounds good.
And I was
Thanksgiving.
Yeah. And I was actually reading that Samhain was traditionally celebrated throughout the entire month of November.
Oh.
Anyways.
So let's do it. It's been decided. We're doing it.
Yeah. 2nd October. So we have our new moon tomorrow morning. It's technically at 8:46 a.m. and it's a new moon in Scorpio. So this is like the first new moon since eclipse season. So we're kind of just like, Scorpio is a water sign. We're like cleansing and releasing everything and reflecting. Like Scorpio season and fall season is meant to be like reflecting on this year. Taking time to like think about this year. And then Sagittarius season, which will happen at the end of the month, is more about that direction and looking forward. So a Scorpio new moon is a good time to set intentions around cleansing and releasing, and really just like allowing yourself to reflect. I was even told to like not do any divination this week at all, to just see what comes, see what you see in the darkness, see what you find. And then let's see. So November 1st is the Scorpio new moon. November 2nd, Mercury is moving into Sagittarius. So Sagittarius is that like finding direction. The symbol is the arrow and looking into the future. Mercury is the planet of communication. So this month has this energy of kind of like storytelling. Like, what was the story of your life this year, and what is the story that you want to tell next year? It very much has this feeling of like what's your own personal hero's journey, or like your own epic quest. And let's see, November 3rd, Mars moves into Leo, which I think is going to be really significant to kind of focus on that energy. Mars is the planet of action. Leo is the ruler, the leader. And Mars is going to be in Leo until next June. And normally Mars changes signs every couple of months, but it's going to go retrograde in December 1st. So that's going to like slow things down. Like things kind of feel stuck when Mars is retrograde. And so going into like setting New Year's resolutions and stuff, like we had a year where Mars was retrograde at the beginning of the year. I think it was the first prediction episode that we did.
Yeah.
And we all felt that energy of like we need to hibernate until spring.
Yes.
And so
I
this
think
is
you
very
said,
much,
let winter be winter.
yes.
Yeah.
Let winter be winter. And this I think is going to very much have that same feeling. And for the rest of this month, Mars in Leo is going to be direct. So if there is any action that you need to take, I think this is a good time to do it, because December and into the spring, Mars is going to be retrograde. So just a heads up about that. November 11th, Venus moves into Capricorn, and Saturn is also going direct that week. So Capricorn is ruled by Saturn there. So this whole time that Saturn has been retrograde is had you thinking about like restructuring boundaries and restrictions. And so that's going to kind of like shift the energy towards the middle of the month of when those planets go direct, you kind of feel this shift of like, oh, now we can like move forward again. And those are just all going to be about, I mean, it can be like money and finances. It's stability and security. And we also have our full Taurus moon at that same time, which has the same kind of feeling of earth and groundedness. Taurus needs to have this nice, cozy, comfy foundation to build upon. And so the middle of November and into the end of November is going to have that. We're going to be exploring things like boundaries and restrictions, security, stability. How can you like best support yourself for whatever you want to move into next year? Let's see. Then the end, 11/22, the sun is moving from Scorpio to Sagittarius. So that's going to shift us from those 2nd October vibes to start thinking about next year.
Yeah.
And just another heads up, towards the end of this month, we'll start feeling a Mercury retrograde shadow, because Mercury's going retrograde December 1st.
Blah.
Yeah.
Always fun. Always fun.
So some things to look forward to and some things that might be challenging.
I think it's going to be more challenging like December, January, but this is kind of the month to get ready for it.
How long is Mercury usually in retrograde? Journey would like to know.
I think it's about 2 weeks usually.
Oh, that's not that bad.
Yeah.
Why do we dread it so much then?
I mean, we just usually really feel it. Everything goes haywire.
2 weeks is kind of long.
Mercury's really close to us. I guess that could have something to do with it, but yeah, we just really feel it. And communication's hard anyways, so with restriction on that, it's even more difficult. But yeah, so that's the moon for November. We're having 2nd October spooky vibes.
Yeah,
we're envisioning our own personal hero's journey and epic quest, and getting ready for those obstacles that our hero has to overcome in December, January.
Blah. Okay. Put your armor on. Get your shield ready.
Yep.
Sharpen your knife.
Yeah.
All right, Alyson, thank you so much for the moon news and for hanging out with us.
Yeah, thank you
during
guys
the
so
new
much.
moon.
Halloween.
And happy
happy
Halloween.
Halloween.
We appreciate
Yes.
it. Take care, Alyson.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.
All right. So, we have a couple things to do, but I think we should just go ahead and bring our guests on. That way they're
Absolutely.
here and hanging out with us.
Yeah.
I have a lot of all the fancy intro stuff, but I'm going to jettison that tonight. Please welcome to the show, to the spooky hours, our dear friends and friends of the program, Irene and Danica. How are y'all doing?
Oh, can't hear you.
Oh, we can't hear you. Can you guys hear us? We're not getting your audio.
We can't hear you, Irene. We can't hear you.
Oh.
There we go.
Oh no.
There we go.
Okay, what were you telling us?
These are our inscriptions. We took a note from the news story. We're going to hang them on the kitchen wall.
There we go.
No puppets.
Right here.
No ghosts.
No puppets.
No devils. No puppets. There we go.
There you go.
Ooh.
You'll have your own witch's kitchen.
Yeah.
And we've decided that for 2nd October in November, it will be turkey sandwich leftovers when you go trick-or-treating.
There we go.
Let's wrap it up. Put it in some plastic wrap. Here you go, kids.
This is what we've gathered so far from the opening.
Yeah, there we go.
And lots of retrograding Mercury.
Oh, yes. And during Christmas shopping season, the best time of the year for everyone
right?
to be emotional.
I know, right?
No communication skills, and nothing's gonna work right. Hot damn.
And, I never want to like rush Halloween, but now that we're getting towards the end of the night and we've been going through the day, tomorrow's November 1st, and after that it's all downhill. And when we know it, we're going to be spit out on the other end of New Year's. So here it comes. A lot of stuff going on. So like you guys are saying, Mercury retrograde is just going to throw a wrench and all that. All your internet ordering, all your internet shopping.
All those Amazon packages are going to be going next door.
Bras. Sounded like I said bras.
I thought
will happen.
I thought you were talking about bras.
You never know.
We know what Danica's getting for Christmas now.
Yeah, bras. No,
so
once you hit Thanksgiving, like it's only like 3 weeks, it feels like, between Thanksgiving and Christmas. It's crazy.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, it pretty much is. So I was talking to students today, and I said that I was looking at the calendar, and we got essentially starting next week, it's 3 weeks to Thanksgiving, the week of Thanksgiving, and then after that it's 3 weeks till the beginning of a Christmas break. So it's in a flyby. And it always does. And then we get into that winter that we were talking about with Alyson, letting winter be winter, because you come out on the other end and it's like boom, like you don't want to do anything, it's all cold and dark. So I'm trying to think, when is the last time? So we got to do the podcast with you, Irene. We got to come on and talk to you guys over there. But was the last time you guys were on with us? Was that at the Hanover Tavern?
No.
Right? Have we?
Actually, it might have been.
Was
no,
it?
But we came on with Private Eye, with Band Paranormal's Private Eye Paranormal.
Yeah, we did come with them.
But I think that was before.
Yeah.
Hanover.
Was that before?
Was in January.
They might have been close together. Yeah, Hanover was January. Was it end of January?
Yeah, middle of January, somewhere in there. Have we done anything since then? Because I've been watching a lot of old ones, like getting footage from them, and so it's been a minute. So what have you guys been up to recently? What's new? How's your investigations been going? What do you guys have to talk about?
Nothing.
Nothing.
Yeah, nothing.
Okay.
No,
No.
I know you guys stay busy because me and Jenny are always like, man, they're doing everything.
Yeah, we've been going to a lot
Except
of
sleep.
yeah.
Yeah.
We've been going to a lot of Paracons. Irene's been doing a lot of readings.
Yeah. I do a lot of local, like in the area over here in Ohio and a little bit in Pennsylvania, readings and events and things like that for it. I recently did a couple seances too, which was fun for the first time. It was interesting. I mean, it's still, it wasn't like the full on, where the table lifts
Not
up,
table
shakes,
tipping.
and like none of that. But yeah, we just had a couple of those, I don't know, a couple weeks ago, a little less than a week ago.
What kind of experiences did you have at that?
It was pretty interesting. You could tell. So we did a series of seances. So it was one night, it was 2 seances in one night. So we had a group of 2 sets of 2 different groups of people. And then we did the same for the second day of seances. And you could really, tell the energy difference between the groups.
Yeah.
And how receptive they are versus, a group that comes in high energy.
Yeah.
So yeah, we had a lot of crazy. The highest energy group, I had 3 piggybacks.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it was crazy, and it was multiple people, and it was just really. It was like the dramatic effect that you want at any kind of seance.
Wow.
There was a potential murder. There was,
Wow.
a mysterious death.
She's diagnosing UTIs at the table.
All I said was UTIs, and somebody was like, "I have one."
Oh my goodness, poor person having to admit that to the whole group.
Calling people out.
I appreciate the bravery,
Yeah.
validating. As long as it's not me with the UTI, I'm good.
For those who don't know what a piggyback is, will you explain what that is?
Oh, yes. A piggyback is when multiple spirits will come in at the same time, kind of using the same energy. And if they have a very similar message, they will pass that message along almost as one energy. And then you have to kind of filter out who belongs to who. And it takes a little while. You have to find enough, evidence validation for everybody.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it was
they're not easy.
3 together.
No, but they are exciting.
They are, yeah.
I always say, bring in the piggyback.
She's never like, just make it an easy night for her.
Yeah.
Just come in a straight line. No, never.
Nope, just come on in, everybody.
The more drama, the better.
It does make it exciting, especially when you finally figure it all out. It's like the mystery is solved,
Yeah.
And that is exciting.
We had we actually had and one of them too, we had these 3 guys you would never expect to walk into a seance. So, and I drew like the Football Hall of Fame on my automatic writing. I drew a Football Hall of Fame and then a big football stadium, one next to the other. And I'm like, did you play football? Did you this? No, I don't know. No, I didn't play football. No, not me. And then I heard cousin. And then the one guy says, "Oh, was it dad or mom's cousin played in the NFL."
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So sometimes it takes a little while like that too. If people don't kind of, connect the dots, you're sitting there. No, I see this, and crickets.
Yeah.
Sometimes there is.
Well, I've been on the receiving end of that where I've had to think about, it's like, I'm not thinking about this person, but that's who the person is coming through. And it just takes a while for you to figure it out,
Yes, I'm a horrible sitter. I just stand there like, I don't know. It's not until after the reading that I'm like, I know exactly who that was. So yeah, I'm a horrible sitter.
Yeah.
Yeah, you walk away feeling very insecure about your ability when you read Danica.
As long as she tells you later. Yeah. Yeah.
If she's feeling nice.
Yeah.
So what kind of investigations have you guys done lately?
Whew. We went, oh gosh. Well,
backtrack.
Hold on, we've got to think about it. So we did some investigations. I mean, we went to Lake Shawnee. We did a couple like smaller investigations in Pennsylvania. And then we did a couple residential and Beale Manor, Dilgert House. But we didn't quite investigate that one. Just read that one.
That was a walkthrough.
Yeah, that was a walkthrough.
Where Irene was doing her mediumship throughout the house.
And then there's a neighboring church connected to that house too. We went to the church.
McIntyre Villa. Stevenson building. And I know we're forgetting one. No. Soon we're going to be going to Gettysburg.
Oh yeah, going back to Gettysburg well, I'm going to go in and read, but we're going to also investigate the orphanage over there.
So yeah, it's been a lot of nothing then.
Yeah, nothing.
Yeah.
It's hard because
napping.
No, it's really. I feel like the year has really blown by.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
it really does.
And then when you look at it, you're like, did we do a lot? And then we're like, yeah, we did a lot. Like,
holy crap! Yeah, you did a
what
lot.
happened in January.
I have no recollection. A year has gone by and I have no recollection of anything whatsoever, except that I was tired. But it was great. It was fun.
We were. Did you guys go to wasn't the Warren Paracon thing in Gettysburg recently? Did you guys go to that?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. We were just there with
Okay.
Bam Paranormal as
Excellent.
Private Eye Paranormal.
Okay. We were going to go, and then Ginny ended up teaching some classes that day, right?
Weekend, yeah.
So yeah, you were with Kim Sage doing some stuff there, and that's the way it typically works out for us. Like there'll be like 3 things we want to do, and then it's all on the same day or the same weekend. So
I hate that. Yes.
we're gonna get there. We're gonna make it happen. But
Yeah,
it's hard because you don't know the dates of things coming up, and there's some things that we want to do, and then there's some things that people are asking us to do, and then all of a sudden we're like, oh my gosh, that date's already booked up. We can't do it. So it's hard to try to. I said for this year, let's kind of leave things open a little bit, and then really pick some things that we really want to do.
Kind of be a little more choosy of what you're going to do with your time. Yeah,
some big trips would be nice.
Yeah, except everything seems fun. You know,
yeah.
It's hard.
That's the problem.
Speaking of, you have just put in a date for next year. Because Rusty, you want to announce it?
I'll let you do it.
Me?
I got to make all the announcements. Yeah.
Okay. Irene and Danica have verified that they are going to be at the Team Weird Takeover at Lake Shawnee next year.
Woohoo!
Yay!
That'll be great.
I'm so excited. And you guys were just there. You guys were just there. Was that the first time you had been there?
Yeah.
Yes.
It was. I thought you had gone another time too. That was it.
No, that was my first. That
So
was Danica's first too.
Yeah.
What kinds of things did you pick up on there?
Well, we did.
I don't know. By the way, before we start, I don't know if we want to make this scary or not, because we have all the people that are thinking about coming to Team Weird Takeover. Like half of them are ready for the paranormal investigation, and then we have some who are like, I hope it's not too scary. So we're gonna. Tonight might be the make or
I'm
break.
sure it's okay to bring up the person that didn't make it out alive, right?
Oh yeah. Well,
we lost one. Just one though.
Just one. Person. Well, you know, the lake has to always take their sacrifice.
Yes.
So, yeah.
No.
Don't mention the sacrifice.
Oh my gosh.
Gotta get your witch symbols up for that.
Yeah.
No lake.
No sacrifices.
Yeah, I should put no
lake.
sacrifices. Sacrifices.
Oh goodness.
All right, we're good. We're good to go. We're safe.
Okay,
we go.
We got it.
There we go.
That was fun. We're not too big in camping. We slept in the back of the car with
like I prefer that than over the floor though.
With an air mattress.
Over the ground.
Yeah.
No, we had the foam mattress.
Foam mattress.
Yeah, that was nice.
Did you guys camp when you guys went?
So let me tell you this story, and chat's heard it a million times, but I just love telling the story because it shows where I rank here. But so we went up there, and it was a wonderful day. What was it? Was it November or October
It
of
was
last year?
November.
November. So we got up there, and the day was fine. It was a nice fall day, but it got cold that night. So cold that when everyone was ready to do paranormal investigation, we're gonna investigate, and then after we eat dinner, and we're gonna go do this. But it got so cold that nobody wanted to leave the campfire. So someone would be like, all right, like we're all gonna go over to this, and we're gonna go split up and do some investigation. And everyone would be like, okay, that sounds great. And then someone would be like, okay, I'm gonna use the bathroom real quick. And then like all of a sudden, like nobody would ever go. And then everyone just started disappearing. And when they went to the bathroom, and I think they went and turned their cars on and went to sleep in the cars with the heat on. So everyone had set up their tent, and I'm like waiting and waiting and waiting. And eventually everyone just falls asleep. And I'm like, well, I guess we're not getting any more paranormal investigations done. So I go in the tent, and I'm freezing cold. I am just freezing cold. And I wake up.
There was ice inside of the tent.
Yeah, ice inside of the tent.
Yeah.
I was started kind of snuggling with my oldest daughter. I'm like, hey, if we cuddle, then we can use our body heat. And then next thing I know, I'm waking up and the tent is completely empty. And I'm like, I just spend the rest of the night freezing my butt off. I wake up in the morning, and Miss Medium Jenny Lee and my daughter and my son are all asleep in the minivan with the heat turned on.
Oh,
yeah.
And never came and told Frosty that hey, we're gonna go sleep in the van. So it was a rough night, but it was a fun time.
It was a
rough night, but it was a fun time. So when we
sleep very well that night either, it was cold, but we did not sleep very well. It felt like there were things around the car all the time, just energy around the car. So
well, first let's just say luckily there's some electricity there, so we were able to plug in with an extension cord a space heater, which isn't the safest thing, into the car, so we wouldn't have the car running all night long. But it gets cold. The temperature drops like that. It's 1 minute it's okay, and
you're in the mountains.
We use it during a colder time though, but 1 minute it's okay. The next minute, you can't. It's unbearable.
It got really cold.
You have that. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, it just got we knew it was going to be chilly, but it got way colder than we expected it.
Yeah.
Because it's not that far away from us, really.
Yeah.
Especially then. Yeah. So that's one of the things when we talked about doing the teamwork takeover and we were planning it out. I said, let's do it in early June before it gets super hot.
Yes.
But also we don't have to worry about it getting to below freezing that night. So
yes.
it should be a pretty comfortable
It'd
stay that time of year. And especially early June in the mountains, I think that'll be a pretty good sweet spot, I feel like.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
What did you, Jenny, what did you pick up on there with the energies and stuff on the land and
the elemental, giant, massive elemental thing. And then tons and tons of Native American people. One specifically was kind of communicating and about like he was angry about things, but at the same time, he was starting to come around to the guy who runs it because of the memorial thing. And then I was picking up on a young girl who was kind of creepy because she was still kind of in her death state, and she was kind of she was sickly. And then I was picking up on some kind of weird, I don't know, thought form things that like to cause a ruckus. And then I picked up on something on the spooky trail that had to do with something. I don't know if they know I don't think they know the history of it yet, because I picked up on a hanging, like a lynching.
Was it this tree?
Yep.
Was there
Oh
a
my
tree?
God.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I'm walking and I'm like stopped at the tree.
Yep.
Like,
No, I stopped you first.
we're like, we
can't go there. We're not allowed.
I'm like, there's something with this tree.
She's like, can I just take a few more steps? Can I just look around the corner?
You're like, no, I was just told we are not supposed to be here.
And so I sit there for a minute and I, have a conversation, and it's okay. So she goes forward and she sees the tree.
Mm-hmm.
So, and we find because you went right before. Did you go before we went?
Yeah, I was in November.
We went last fall.
Year.
It was last November. Yeah.
So we find out later that you had an experience with that tree.
Yep.
Which is interesting because we actually have an episode of Weird Hauntings where Jenny talked, which is like a show that we do. We have a few episodes of. So we have the whole part where Jenny's talking about what happened at that tree, and it's on camera. So that might be something to look at too, to make sure if it was the same tree. Yeah. That's really interesting. And no one had mentioned that in the tour or anything. Like, I didn't know anything about it because I did the tour, but Jenny didn't. Mm-hmm. And so she didn't have any background on what was really there.
Yeah.
Same.
But yeah, that
on a tour back that way.
No.
They basically said that's the creepy area. We don't go there. So
yeah, they don't like going over there. Yep.
So I brought Irene over there.
That's what Frosty did to me. He's like, so let's go down the creepy trail.
Yeah.
And our son, the Wanderer, was with us, and he saw somebody, like a shadow, walk across, and
like peeking
so
out.
We got down
and like looking at us.
That corner, you go down and then you make a right, but before you go down, he saw someone like going and like peeking out down there at the end. And as we were walking that way, Jenny like had me stop, and she was like, okay, we got to talk about this tree. So, yep, that's very interesting. That's what's so awesome about seeing mediums work together. So often you see mediums work independently, but I'm a huge fan of seeing mediums work together because it's just to get hits on the same things like that is absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
Absolutely amazing.
So what did you pick up on about that tree?
So for me, it was, so the Native American spirit for me was the tall Native American spirit with the headdress, everything, like everything was present. But he was big. He presented himself as big.
Okay.
I can't remember if it was a wolf. I think it was a wolf.
I think he said a wolf.
So when we walk back there, he's the one that stopped me. He said, this is not the space for you. And so it was basically, it wasn't like nobody's allowed to have permission. Nobody has permission to be here. It wasn't like that. It was like, this is not a healthy space for you. Mm-hmm. You need to stop. Because we get there and he was a protector. It wasn't, I wasn't afraid. It was to keep us safe.
Yeah.
And so, and some people, I guess, are like, have experiences where they are afraid of him because just of what the spirit is like, what it feels like, what it seems like when you come across it. But she, so when she wanted to keep going, that's when I had like the conversation. I said, okay, she wants to keep going. I knew something happened. I remember looking up at the tree, and yes, I had that same thought about, the hanging, but it was just, I just knew that it, like the land itself, even it's not even just the tree, it's coming around the bend to that area.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And so it was just a matter of, this is not safe. This is not healthy. There was a lot of bad experiences, bad energy, sitting, like negative energy, traumatic energies, things like that.
And I know you said like going around through that cut path, you felt things grabbing at your feet.
Yeah, that usually means something's buried. So usually when they're grabbing at my feet, people are buried. So it's pretty There's usually no question. It's pretty consistent. If I feel it, there's not other symbolism for it in that particular situation where things grab at my feet. The people are buried there. So and there was a sick woman there on the trail as well. So yeah.
I wonder if my sick girl and your sick woman are the same person.
Yeah, it's possible. How old was your sick girl?
She looked like she was maybe like 12, 13, 14.
Okay.
And she looked awful. Like she was in her death state of being sick.
Yeah. And the woman looked the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I bet they're the same person.
Well, what I love too is that like we don't have all our training together, but we have this like early core stage training like that we learned, and we link well. Like there's like mediums from this one particular group of mediums that we link really well, and it will be fun when we get there.
Yeah,
and we're going together. I can't wait to see what happens.
Yeah.
I want to know what you felt around the swing, because I felt something different than what people normally like. I felt the little girl, you know, but you know, it was hard not to know this like story of the little girl.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I already knew like there was a story of a little girl.
I did too. I
didn't quite know how she passed, but
me too.
I knew it was a swing tragedy. So, but I had this experience where everybody has all of these things on this one swing. She walked me over to the other side and pointed out a different swing.
Oh.
So I'm not sure what.
Like
I'm not, but she still goes and like grabs hands at the other swing, but she's like, no, it was this one.
I got the swing wrong. Yeah.
Yeah, so you got something different too.
My experience with the little girl is not one that people are going to be happy to hear. Because
there was another thing there too.
My experience with the little girl energy was that it wasn't really her. That it was a conglomeration of energies that people have put into this idea of it being her, but that little girl actually isn't there. But that doesn't mean that there's not an energy there that isn't what people have put into it. So, you know what I'm saying? So it's like there's still this energy there of exactly what people want her to be.
Yeah.
But the energy of that little girl that actually died there isn't actually there.
Interesting. It's a possibility.
Like a thought form.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of those constructed ghosts.
Yeah.
Of all these years of people putting their thoughts and energy into it, because people love her. Like they want to interact with her. They want to leave her things. They feel sorry about her story. So all of that goes into it, you know, and it doesn't mean that it's not something, but to me, it wasn't her.
You wonder, because there were other children on the site.
Yeah. I didn't pick up on any other kids other than my sick girl and the swing girl thing.
Okay. Because there are I picked up on two other little girls on the other side where the bus is.
Yeah. I didn't pick up on them.
And two boys, two little girls and two little boys.
Which I think there were some kids that drowned in the lake.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, we also have to remember our investigations got kind of cut short because of the cold weather. So there was a lot more investigating we could have done that night. So, well, the good thing is we all get to go back, right? So.
Yeah.
Yeah. Journey.
As far as finding like a crazy amount of evidence there, we didn't get a lot of it. You know, we didn't get too much other than, you know, the feelings and things like that.
Yeah. There was an energy boost. Like when the sun went down, it's like the mediumship kicked into high gear. It was really weird. It was almost instantaneous. Irene
What?
Irene escaped the isolation experiment when we were watching. Yeah, I did.
So Joe picked up on stuff when you guys were there streaming it. A boy in the bus, on a teen girl hovering like a guardian. And Joe was also talking about an earth elemental that's over the ridge.
Yeah.
Is it by a tree, like almost kind of by the road? Because I remember
he was saying, it was like on the other side of the lake, like by the ridge of the mountains.
Yeah, and he's like a guardian type thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I kind of had the same experience that as you were talking about as like the Native American protector guy, the wolf guy, like with the elemental. It's like the elemental shows up and he's scary, but he's not because he's just a protector. But if you're doing something you shouldn't be doing or you're not respectful, then he's going to be scary as hell. You know, he's going to get you.
You saw it as like a tree elemental, right? It was like a tree like.
No, he was just really, really tall.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I got anyway.
I know they've brought other things onto the property, like there's the bus is there. There's like a van of some sort, which has
it looks like an old delivery truck.
Yes.
It had a really strange energy in it.
Yeah.
It does, yeah.
The Ferris wheel was there, but the Ferris wheel had an energy with it. What else did they there was something else that they brought in. I can't think of what it is.
There's like a booth type thing over there.
Oh, the ticket booth, but that was there though.
Oh yeah.
No, not the ticket booth. It was the other booth, like that. Was it a security booth or the one right next to the water where the boy drowned?
Yep.
And I did see a boy in that
on the
area.
other side. Yeah. That's where people see the elemental a lot, I think, too, was over there by that booth. Yeah.
Yeah.
They talk about that on the tour.
Fun to go back there and
get
real investigating done.
Yeah, some warmer weather. Yeah.
Spirits, use the equipment.
You know, absolutely. I haven't gone to a lot of places like designated places like known for being super haunted. Most of the paranormal investigation I've done has just been kind of like, you know, like lesser known places. So when I went there, I didn't really know what to expect. And I kind of built it up to be like this super, like, you know, how scared is everyone going to be that night? But I didn't really get that energy from that place. Like it was really a fun time. And I didn't feel like a lot of negative energy. I mean, you know, can it be scary? Yes. But I didn't feel like, you know, like it was this really like foreboding kind of energy there or anything like that. Would you guys agree with that?
I would agree. I would agree.
I think like we were talking about, if it's scary if you're not doing the right things. Yeah.
Yeah. So, they were also talking in chat. Let me go if I can find through here there, because they were talking about the Native Americans and like leaving offerings there. So there we go. Journey of Self-Discovery said, wonder if there are ways to help heal the land and further aid the energies to be transmuted with the intention to be respectful. And I would say, Journey, that when you go there, that's going to be something that's highlighted right from the beginning, is to make sure to be respectful to those groups that they found there. Namely because, you know, they found all of the remains of the Native Americans there. They are all the money that goes to that place, which when you buy tickets for this, I know I've talked about this before, but we're not like taking any money off the top. We're just putting the cost for us to get in the park and the food and stuff we're going to have there. All that money goes towards local Native American charity and improvements on the property. And the owner is trying to build some kind of memorial for them there. So there's a lot of respect giving and kind of respect demanded, I think, from the owner for the people who go there. So that's definitely something that we do. And Priestess had mentioned that is why I would like us all to make offerings. And we will, when we go there at some point in the night, we'll go do like a ceremony down there and we'll make offerings down there where everybody's put their stuff. So that'll be, and that's also a cool part of it.
Journey was also specifically asking about that tree area where there's the trauma.
Excellent.
And I can answer that yes, there is, because I have done that kind of work before, where you try to release and clean up and cleanse a space or a piece of land that is, has had something like that happen. Are you going to get all of it? Is it going to be pristine and perfect afterward? Probably not. But yeah, you can. There's things you can do. Have you ever had that experience, Irene?
Oh yeah, but we also have to remember too. I definitely agree with you, and it's possible to do those things, but we have to remember too. Some of these paranormal locations, they're made to be a paranormal location, and so some of the owners, they don't want crossing over and cleansing, and so it makes it very difficult to walk in there knowing, certain things, but knowing also that,
it's kind of like the like when you're watching a nature documentary and like the zebra's getting eaten by the lion, but like the camera guy can't do anything about it. He's just got to watch it happen.
Yeah.
Have we gotten into that discussion? I know we've talked to a lot of other guests before, but like the ethics of crossing over, have we had that discussion? Do you guys know? Because it's still an interesting one for me, because some people are like you cross them over. I mean, why wouldn't you? And then I've also, kind of heard the other argument of like, well, like, I don't know if we need to meddle with things that, like we don't need to get involved with. So I'm not sure. Where I think different mediums stand different ways there. Oh, we lost
them.
That's okay. So they get back in here, and we'll bring them back in. Hopefully, like battery didn't run out or something like that.
Yeah, and Irene's exactly right. Like when you go to haunted locations, you really can't do that because that's
Yeah, they don't want you to. Yeah. So if it becomes an ethics question and people agree that you should do that, though, because we've had, and I can't remember because we talked to so many people, I can't remember exactly who it was who was like, yeah, we definitely do that. Then what's the ethics of going to a place where they won't let you do it if that's what you think needs to be done? And how many people? I mean, you could do it, and would anybody know?
For me, my main experience with it is not in places that were that are known to be haunted. Like my big experience, my first major experience with it was where my brother died in a car accident. So I went by there and realized that there was some residual trauma on that land, so I cleaned it up.
Yeah.
And then my friend's house, when she was getting ready to move in, I went to go check on it, and there was some stuff there, so I cleaned it up. So it's like not some place where people are making their living off of there being spooks and ghosts and stuff,
Yeah, that's really interesting. Well, while we're waiting for them to come back,
do we want to do
a good time
t-shirt giveaway?
We could do the t-shirt giveaway, and we also have a video to watch, but we can do the video with them when they come back. Do we want to do a t-shirt giveaway?
Yes.
All right, I'm gonna let you run the t-shirt giveaway. How do we want to do it? Do we want to make a wheel, or how do we want to do it?
I can do a wheel.
Okay.
And I'll present
it. You can present the wheel. There we go.
There they are. They're back.
Hello.
Hey.
You just needed to take a candy break.
Sorry,
guys. We didn't want to eat on camera.
What is it, like the Snickers commercial? Like,
yeah.
So we are
sorry, guys.
No, you're fine. Okay. We're taking the opportunity. Jenny's going to create a wheel because we're going to do a giveaway for
our spooky
hours t-shirt. So while you're doing that, go ahead.
If you want to be entered to win the spooky hours, want to get spooky shirt, please in the chat put in, me. I want it. Please,
spooky.
Whatever.
Put spooky in chat if you want to win. If you want to enter the giveaway, enter spooky in chat.
There you go, Frosty's. See, Frosty's in. Frosty's got it together. Yeah, I'm just like put whatever in there. I'll get you in there.
Put spooky in chat.
Enter right now.
Put spooky in the chat.
Okay. Oh, I liked your word earlier too. Jurassically.
Yeah.
That was funny.
It's late. I've had a lot of candy.
It's a good. I think it should be used more. I think it should be used more frequently. Jurassic.
Jurassic.
That's gonna stick.
I hope so. I hope lots of people say it.
When you have little ones, Halloween turns into a long night, and so it's been a long night.
Yeah.
And by the way,
A long
we were looking
day.
because it's like, man, like because we always do a Halloween episode, but to actually do it on Halloween, we haven't done yet. And I was like, okay, let's do it. Like we'll just do it late. We'll do it on Halloween. It'll be cool. It'll be an opportunity to actually do it on on Halloween night. And I looked today, and it doesn't happen again until 2030. So if we're still kicking, that will be what, our 9th? That will be our 9th anniversary if we make it to 20.
I'm just gonna add that to the calendar.
Our 10th maybe.
Guest
Yeah,
appearance.
We'll have you guys back on in 2030 on Halloween.
Frosty as
That's our next appearance.
Yeah.
We're gonna be like, oh, what have you guys done since then? And it'll just be 2 hours of you guys saying all the things that you've done since then. Frosty, can we ship? Does our merch shop ship overseas?
I actually think that it does.
I think
Yes,
it does. So
it
Luna,
does.
if
Because
you
they
want to be
have a
entered
shop.
in-
They have like a shop in the Netherlands or something
exactly. So Luna,
Mhm.
there's no Lacrine tonight. If you will just type spooky. These are the people I have so far. I got Joe, Journey, Amber, Luna. Who else? There's got to be more
like
people.
that. I'll
than
name
that.
out to you. We got Joe, Journey, Amber, yes, Luna.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that is it. I thought I saw more in
Is
there.
that it?
Yep. If you want to enter spooky into the chat, we'll get you in the giveaway wheel.
There's got to be more than 4 of you guys that want that shirt.
Only to live
Make sure
listeners.
you
So
don't ship
unfortunately,
it in the first 2 weeks of December.
Yeah.
yeah.
Retrograde.
We'll be getting it out probably this weekend. Not in Getty.
Not in Getty. Yeah.
Okay.
And for all you people listening later on the podcast, we love having you here. But if you ever want to pop into live chats, that's how
Got
you
Night
get
and
into
Getty.
our giveaways.
Yep. All right. So we have Joe, Journey, Amber, Luna, and Not in Getty. Anybody
Getty.
else?
Yep.
All right. Sharing my screen. Wheel o' names. All right. We're going to shuffle it. Last call. Expect it to arrive during the holidays. Yeah, it probably is true. That might be true anyway. You might get it at Thanksgiving time. All right, Luna, Joe, Amber, Not in Getty, Journey. Anybody else? Last call.
Last call.
Last call for alcohol. No, we're not giving alcohol away. It's a shirt.
Darn.
Danica is getting ready to hop in there. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to spin it.
Here we
Good
go.
luck, everybody.
Who we got?
It's Not in Getty.
Not in Getty.
Yay.
Woo!
Congratulations.
Congratulations, Not in Getty. Not in Getty, I already have your address, so I will just I will get that over to Frosty so he can order the shirt for you.
Yeah,
But
just
please
give it.
let us know what size.
Yep. And it has a whole range of sizes. So just tell
Send
us what
me
size you need.
send me a message on Discord with what size you would like.
The last one to get into the wheel too. I'm glad that we didn't miss.
Yes, we didn't miss Not in Getty.
Yeah.
So before we go and do our video that Frosty has made, we were talking about the ethics of moving people on. And I was saying that, yes, we don't do it at places where people make their living off of ghosts. My experiences were places that were personal to me or someone else. So do you have anything else you wanted to say about that before we move on to something else?
No, I think what you're saying is spot on.
Yeah.
And it's the spirit's choice, really.
Exactly.
So
ultimately it is.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Whether somebody helps them or not. You know, if the most spooky ghost at the haunted location doesn't want to be there anymore, well, off
Yeah.
you go.
Yeah.
Goes, He packs his bags.
One thing I've noticed about
Oh,
some of the places that we went to is that more spirits come in.
Yeah.
Like they're not just the ones that were there before. They more different ones show up. So
it's also, other people are there investigating, doing things, doing portal work, doing things that they're not trained to do. Yeah, we've had experiences where we'll be at a space and we think this space, this is great energy. This is, it's really really paranormal. We get a lot of experiences, but we go back the next time and it's very different.
Yeah.
It feels scarier, it feels darker.
Yeah, that's not cool.
Yeah, or vice versa.
Yeah. Yeah, Joe said some places are like crossroads once investigations start up.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yep. It's like a little light to all the ghosties. Come hang out here.
Especially when the mediums start showing up.
Yeah.
Come to do readings.
Yeah. Oh, somebody we can talk to. Yeah, exactly. Open signs on. There's vacancies.
There we go.
Well, Frosty has a really fun video to share to celebrate our 3-year anniversary.
Yeah. So let's do the video, and then when we get back, you were able to share some evidence from some of the more recent investigations, I guess, that you were able to give to me earlier. So maybe we can go over those, talk about that a little bit, and then, well, I mean, you've been super busy, so there's a whole bunch of stuff we can talk about because just so much. So let's go ahead and do that, and then we'll come back and we'll go over some of the evidence and some of the other stuff that you've been up to, and we'll talk for a little bit longer. All right, everybody. So here is the video. Enjoy.
Welcome to the Halloween special. The witching hours. Halloween.
I had been on global television, for goodness sakes. I thought, this is an invitation to come down for a grand necktie party, you know?
See, that's why you always gotta trust that sexy gut of yours. Don't ever go against it.
Meeting Jenny Lee here at the Hanover Tavern Aircon with, you guys know who these people are. It's Irene and Danica.
It's not just Roswell, the Roswell crash of New Mexico, 1947. There's so many others.
At that moment, an owl flew over us.
History. I can tell you the moment I fell in love with history.
We just feel like it's our fiscal responsibility.
Instead of, like, people think of like having an ability and then using that to manifest, but what about manifesting the ability?
Oh, I never thought of that.
You just blew up everybody's brains just then.
That's what you want to do on these calls.
Oh, I loved it.
Mind blown.
There we go.
I love it.
Yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed.
That
was great.
I love that
I had
you
fun
ended
making
it with Mark Hunter Brooks.
Yeah, he's been great to have him. We need to have him back on again soon.
We do. And Irene and Danica were on there. What do you know?
Yeah, who would have thought? Who would have thought? Yeah.
We love being here, and thanks for having us.
Yes,
too.
Oh, thank you for being here.
It's always fun to look back.
Oh my God! Look at there he is.
There we go.
Mind blown.
Always look how you doing, Mark.
That was perfect timing, man. To come,
That
come
was.
out of the weeds and say,
It's so fun looking back at the old shows. Joe said Owl, the Messenger. That was a good episode. That was. I really enjoyed
the owl guy.
I mean, someone we could probably talk to a whole lot more because it just got into so much stuff between extraterrestrials and missing time and all kinds of really interesting things. So yeah, all kinds of wonderful episodes to look back on. It's hard to just go through and pick a couple things that throw in there.
That was good though.
Yeah, theremin as a ghost hunting device. Yep.
That'll be on the 4-year anniversary.
That'll be on the 4-year anniversary. That was a good one. Which actually, I actually want to really see that tried now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get on it, Joe.
We were talking to Joe last week about using a theremin as essentially as like a REM pod. Yeah, that'd be interesting.
But that is what's in a REM pod, right?
Yeah, essentially. Yeah. So it's like then we were talking about how essentially like the ghost could play music.
Yeah.
Which would be really interesting instead of just making it beep, like the closer it gets and the further away it gets, you get different. So that could be like a distance thing too, like, I don't know, that could be kind of interesting.
It was all Rosie. That was Rosie's idea.
Yeah, that was Rosie's idea. It was. It was a good idea. Excellent.
So let's get into their evidence that they sent.
Yeah, let me bring that up. So let me bring that up over here. And what would you guys like to start with first? And I'll go ahead and bring that up. You can tell us a little bit about.
Did all 3 come through? Because I sent one at the last minute.
I sure did. I got 3 here. I got the McIntyre Villa. I have the Boy Scout, and I have the video.
I guess start with the Boy Scout.
Sure. Okay.
Okay.
So the Boy Scout, I think this one was where we were doing some filming, and we were right outside of, I think, Exton, Pennsylvania, and we were kicked off the property.
Yeah, we were. We did not have authorization to be there.
I was going to say we kicked out by living people.
It was
deceased
people.
Right.
Right.
We thought it was public property, and it ended up being private property because it was near a park.
Yeah, and somebody knocked down the sign.
Oh,
so that says it's private property. Yeah. So it was on the ground. And so that's why we thought we were okay to be there. But yeah, it turns out we weren't okay to be there. So we ended up finding ourselves out on the perimeter of the property. And so you can hear some background noise, but we decided to do a EVP session. And usually we both start the EVP sessions early. We always start them before we even get settled, because that's usually when we catch something. Most of the time, a lot of the things we catch are like right before we start talking and start asking questions. And so, because we're saying, okay, let's get settled. Let's sit down. Let's do this. So we're
tricking the ghosts.
We're not recording them.
We're not listening to you.
Okay, well, just in a few minutes, we're going to do an EVP session, but we're already recording. And that's where we capture evidence, because once we say, okay, now we've started this session, crickets, nothing.
So
they're smart.
Tricky.
Yes, they're very tricky. So we started the EVP session early, and so this is right before we say, okay, hey, let's say our names and time and date stamp it. And so we were there investigating the death of a little boy, a Boy Scout. And you hear like what sounds like a little hum. and it's right up against the microphone, and you can kind of hear like we're in the background, and you can hear like I'm pretty sure you can hear the cars going by, and you hear a little hum, and then there's a gap, and then another little sound, a high pitched.
Okay.
Like so, you'll hear it, and it sounds like a young boy humming into the recorder.
All right. So I haven't had a chance to hear this yet, so I'm gonna play it. Let me bring this up here.
And we have video of us, so we know that it wasn't any of us making a noise.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna open this up here. Present. Share screen. There we go. Bum bum bum. And we're gonna do there we are. Okay. So here we go. We're going to play. Here we go. I'm gonna start it now.
Yeah, and that's it.
Weird.
Dude. And then that's it. That's where it ends. And then eventually you hear us start talking in the background.
No, we didn't hear it at all.
We didn't hear it.
Only on the recording. And it almost sounds like a recorder, like one of those like.
Oh yeah.
Let me play it one more time. So you didn't hear that at all?
No.
Wow.
It's so loud, like it's right.
It's very loud.
The microphone.
Yeah.
And you can even see it in the audio file that it's like really
it's
loud.
crazy.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
What
right.
unusual noises.
Yeah.
It is.
Well, as someone who spent a lot of time with children, they do weird stuff like that.
Yes,
yeah.
Exactly.
They do make weird noises. Yeah.
Oh, look, they're going to record us. La, la, la.
Yeah.
All right. So for all the people who listening, if you're listening later on the podcast, we'll play it one more time if you missed it the first go around. So once again, we're listening for, well, I guess kind of what sounds like a recorder or a humming.
It makes me so happy though. Like it's a happy little noise.
Yeah.
I know. I've heard so many terrifying EVPs.
Yeah.
And this one is not nearly as
That's the next
terrifying.
one.
Oh, that's the next one. That one's a happy one.
Okay.
Yes, that was happy.
We start you out all good, and then we bring you down.
No, we're gonna have nightmares.
All right. So we got that one. So let's set up the next one. Which one is the next one you guys want to discuss?
You want to introduce it?
Sure. So the next one, we were at a Paracon in Toledo, Midwest Paracon. And what I like to do is...
Oh, yeah. This is another nice thing.
I like to book us haunted places to stay when we're going to the Paracons so we can get no sleep at night and then do a Paracon the next day.
And then I have to work the next day.
Well, Danica's just efficient. That's all. She's very efficient.
Yeah.
Like, let's
why not?
cram everything into one trip.
Yeah.
I truly believe that my mediumship has leveled up it's like being put through a boot camp. Danica's boot camp. Pusher. Force her to level up.
So as soon as I know we're going to a specific city, I start researching most haunted hotel in the area, most haunted room in that hotel.
Oh yeah, that too. So it's not even just the haunted place; it's the haunted room too.
The room.
Yeah,
the room.
I love it.
So I did find a bed.
I think Danica should get gold star for that.
She
star.
does. She gets can't do anything without her. That's definitely the truth.
So yeah, Toledo found a bed and breakfast. That I'm not going to say the name of it because they actually don't want to be known as haunted, even though because they don't want people to stop going there.
Oh yeah.
So they don't thrive on the paranormal there. They, this is just a regular bed and breakfast. Though I found some blurbs on the internet. I was like, I stayed here and weird stuff was happening. So I was like, that's the place for us.
Does that change how you look at a place if it's not being billed as a paranormal destination? Like if they're kind of playing it down, does that make it maybe even more intriguing?
For me, it does, but also I want to be very transparent with them when we book. And we actually asked them if we could do a recorded walkthrough with mediumship. And they asked us not to because they didn't want it in, But we talked to
they were okay with us going around and kind of just doing our little investigation.
Right. But they didn't want it being publicized as this is where we were staying and this is a big recording and so it doesn't really. I actually like going to places that are the lesser haunts because I feel like you get more stuff.
It doesn't mean they're less haunted.
Yeah.
There are more experiences there, more paranormal experiences than you get in the places that are more well known.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking because, you can go to the most scary, former asylum and blah, but, like the house down the street might be way more haunted than that scary. You know what I mean? So like, so that's interesting. Okay.
But very nice bed and breakfast.
Great,
we would definitely go back there. Great owners and good breakfast. So but this is setting it up. We were actually just sitting in the kitchen. We had
eating dinner.
eating dinner.
So there's one public kitchen, like a main kitchen.
And then I think we were the only ones staying there, maybe one other couple night. So we had the whole place practically to ourselves.
So they were already upstairs in bed for the night.
So we went down to the kitchen, had a snack. We were practicing using our mics. Because we had just gotten a set of lapel mics.
Some newer mics. And we also like to do this thing where we're just doing it like our normal everyday thing and we just let it record and see if something happens. So
I heard.
Well, we put the mic down. The mic is not on us. It's on the counter.
Yeah, the mic is on the counter, but it's still recording.
So that's why, and that's why I sound like later on, I sound farther away. I don't know if we'll play it that long, but I sound farther away than she does because she's closer to the mic than I am once I get up and move.
Right. But I audibly heard something to my right-hand side, which was like a hallway that kind of led to the basement and went outside. But I audibly heard something on my right-hand side. And I was like, did you hear that? But it's actually recorded on, the lapel mic that was sitting on the counter.
And we were like a little delayed in our response, but it happens. And then it takes us a second to talk to each other.
To figure out. Yeah. And you actually can't hear Irene too much because
I had gotten up and walked away. Yeah, my mic was not on.
And my mic was on the table. It wasn't on my lapel anymore.
Okay.
But
here we go.
Okay, so which video do I click on here?
That's that one.
This one, okay.
I think you could see the video too.
Yeah, I'm going to make it full screen there so we can do. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and play it.
So obviously I'm not really prepared to do anything. I'm just getting up with the camera and walking away. That's not my camera ability. It sounds actually a little more muffled on there, so not as scary sounding.
Yeah, it's very guttural.
Yeah, it sounds like to me it sounds, I don't know, like just if I was trying to be scary in somebody's ear, just like a heavy breath.
Definitely a male.
Yeah,
definitely male.
But
I did see a male there.
Yeah, and I heard it in my ear, and I was like, oh. And then I tried to.
Oh, so you heard it audibly. Okay.
I did. Yeah. And if it played through, Lee would be like, I kind of mimic it. I go, it sounded like she didn't hear it. But I was like, it sounds like
I just saw the look on her face when I turned back, and I asked her,
But it sounded like it was in my ear, and I was like, oh. And then she didn't hear it until we played it back. So
wow. And we were in like a completely different space when we decided to play it back, and yeah, it was a little spooky because it was like, really loud. I had the volume up really high. Oh. Yeah, I was sure we're to sleep here.
Well, I don't know how people are listening to this if you have a good pair of headphones, because it's really loud and clear in my headphones for sure. So let me play that one more time. Yeah.
So weird. This is like, if this is a disembodied person, it makes all the exact same noises that a person that has a throat and lungs and a respiratory system would make,
Yeah.
It's like you can almost hear like the spit in his throat too. And it's like, but he's not
Voldemort.
Yeah. But what the hell?
Yeah. Yeah, Joe said so loud right up on the mic, and Priestess said it sounded like Voldemort. Yes. It's pretty
loud and clear to me.
Pretty in your face. Yeah. I mean, there's
and that's no sound editing, none of that. That's straight.
Nothing. Just straight from the
we don't usually clean anything up. It's the sound that you hear is the sound that we hear.
Yeah.
Play one more time for us, Rusty, before we go into the next one. Yep. So weird.
Sounds like he's got a hairball or something.
Yeah. Man.
Yeah.
It's almost like he's trying to yell loud enough for us to hear him.
Yeah.
But it's just not enough. It's not loud enough.
Danica did hear him a little bit.
I hear him a little
very
bit.
breathy.
Yeah.
It's very breathy. And, the one thing about EVPs a lot of times is it's like, we talked about this before about determining what it says, and you kind of have to be careful with that. But I mean, that obviously there's no words there. It's just, but man, it is just like clear as day what that is. I mean, it's just, there's no mistaking it.
Yeah, that's kind of cool about both of those pieces of evidence that you have. It's like you don't need to listen to see what kind of words they're saying, because it's just noises.
Yeah.
But it's clearly vocal noises from a person,
Yeah.
It's not something natural. There's no like natural explanation for it. It's not like, there's like wind or the floor squeaked or something. I mean, it's very obvious of what's going on there. It wasn't somebody in another room sneezing.
Irene wasn't standing on the side of the road playing a recorder.
Well, that's the great part about EVP. For me, I still feel like with all the fancy technology we have, I am still a huge fan of EVPs. I still think I think a good EVP is still the best form of evidence that you can get.
Yeah.
Because it comes down to this. It comes down to this, Danica and Irene. It comes down to it's either real or it's not.
Yeah.
Like if you're someone who's still searching for like that proof, right? If you're someone who's still going like, is there evidence of the paranormal? Some people don't need that evidence. Some people still do. But if you're looking for that evidence, an EVP can be like, okay, there's one of two options here. Either this is some kind of evidence of the other side, or it's fraudulent. And so once you have that information, that's when you can go off the people who were providing the evidence. So like, I know you guys, like I trust you guys. We've, and so it's like this, I can take this and say, man, this is something that is a big deal. Like this information, this stuff we get is a big deal. And that's the way I feel about some of the most awesome EVPs I've ever heard. It's like, look, either that is completely faked or it is almost to a point where it's 100% proof that there's something on, that there's another side. Yeah. And so, it's really interesting to listen to. Really interesting to listen to.
Agreed.
All right. We got one more. Do we want to set, what's the deal with this third one?
Okay. So we're at McIntyre Villa in Atchison, Kansas with the Spirit Realm Network with, and some of the people from the Spirit Realm Network.
Okay.
We're down in the basement of the villa, which is amazing space, by the way. And she's taken such great care of it and designed designed every room. Like it's a great space to be in, let alone, investigate. We were with Jerry from Valkyrie Paranormal, Sue from Short Bus Paranormal, Corey from the Loman Chronicles, and then Danica and I. And we're down in the basement. We're all sitting in chairs. It's Corey on the far left. It's Jerry next to me, Danica, and Sue. Do you want me to say the new? Okay. So, we're asking questions. Corey's telling dad jokes to try to get responses. I can't remember if there's music in this one. Was there? Yeah, there was music in this one.
We're playing some older music like Woody Woodpecker and Sunshine. What is that one song? I don't remember what the song is, but we're playing some music to try to get some interaction from the spirits and, just kind of just hanging around, trying to get our energy up to get some, some evidence.
Yeah. And we hear somebody speak, and Danica, did you ask me? You asked me.
Yeah, I said, what did you say? Because I heard somebody say something, and I said, what did you say? Because I wanted to hear what they had to say. And then Irene says, oh, that was Jerry.
And then Jerry looks at me and says, that wasn't me. And it was right next to me. I thought it was her talking.
Wow.
And even Corey, who was on the other side of her, thought it was her. And so you'll hear,
because it sounded like her.
Sounded like a woman talking. Yeah, and it sounded like her, almost like a doppelganger experience. And so you want to, you could just play it. You have to listen. You'll hear a woman. It sounds like she says 3 words. There's a little debate on the second word, but just take a listen and we'll see if we can point it out once it happens.
All right, here we go.
I don't have any,
Are you singing along?
Right there. And then you'll hear the rest. That was Danica.
Jerry just said something. Did you say Jerry? I didn't say anything. You didn't say
That's me saying Jerry.
Yeah. All right, play it again. I need to hear that one again.
So let's start it. Okay, I'll start it back here because I don't know if I heard that go around.
So what we hear is we think it says, I'm fantastic here.
But
after Sue's question.
Now you have headphones on, so you might be able to hear. I don't even really hear it coming from the computer right now. So
it's
so the first woman's voice is someone asking a question, and then there's a whispery answer.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Are you singing along?
Right there.
Yeah, I can hear it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well, it was so obvious again that I thought it was somebody in the room whispering to you guys.
I have no idea what you're saying, but
no clue.
I mean, we don't have headphones on, so we can't really hear it. Like this hasn't been altered at all. So I guess
and I never put in the the quote of like what she's saying.
Yeah, this was the last minute one. We're like, we got to get this in here, but like, I wish I had headphones right now so I could hear.
It's good. Yeah, I like it. Let us know in chat. Are you able to hear the whispering in chat? I'll play it one more time because, so we hear the question. There's a pause, and then I hear some very evident whispering. I mean, so obvious that I thought that I was supposed to be ignoring it because I thought it was someone you guys talking about hearing it. But I can't make out what they're saying, but I can hear. Yeah, I'll play it one more time here.
Are you singing along?
Yeah, it does kind of sound like I'm fantastic here, but I think it could be something else too. It's hard to pick it out, but it's clearly a woman's voice saying something.
Yeah, and we heard it clearly, but on the recording it's not as clear. We know we heard a woman speaking. We just don't know what she said. Like we heard her voice.
And those are always the most interesting to me is when you actually hear it with your ears.
And everybody questions each other. And then you go back and play it. Yeah.
Well, wow. All three of those are very impressive. And we started off, that one wasn't as scary as, well, none of them were terrifying. The first one was definitely the most, the recorder was, but definitely some spooky stuff for the spooky hours tonight. That's for sure.
Yeah. The second one was the spookiest.
Yeah.
But then when you just think about like I was just picturing like a dude standing there going, and then it's really not that scary when you think about it, Like, some guy like making a noise.
It's true.
Right.
Yeah.
But I don't know why, but that one always sends like chills down my spine. It just has that weird, like throaty, like I'm breathing in your ear.
It does. It does.
Creeper, like in your ear. So
plus it's so loud. Like
I
mean, he had to have been right up on the microphone for it to be that loud.
Yeah, because you couldn't hear me at all when I was getting up, walking away. You didn't hear me at all.
So that's what we're gonna try to do sometimes on investigation. Just put our lapel mics down and try to catch some evidence that way.
Yeah, it seems like you guys have some good tricks up your sleeve about how to catch some EVPs. So I'm excited about what you guys might have next.
Yay.
Joe has a question. Love the EVP evidence. How do you feel about all the AI influence apps some people seem to use now?
I think it depends on what app you're talking about because AI is in everything now. So
we don't use too many apps when we're investigating. We use Irene, our recorders, our phones just recording, camera, REM pods, like,
the classic stuff,
EMF detectors. So,
and some of the stuff that you're talking about when you were talking about before, whereas there are things that we've, dabbled in and thought about. So
I was going to say, we kind of got into a conversation with Joe about this when he was on with RBF Paranormal, which was what was a huge deal because he was actually able to explain the ghost box to me a little bit and like how it was built, because I'm okay with like the spirit box because I know what the spirit box is doing. But some of the other stuff that's coming out, well, you guys were at the Hanover Tavern Paracon with us last year, so you guys know exactly what I was talking about in the library where they had them. And I'm like, I don't know what I'm hearing and where this is coming from, and so I don't trust it because I don't know what's behind it. But Joe was actually able to kind of make that make sense to me. So I'm like, okay, so now I see how this is working. But sometimes it's like the technology moves so fast in the paranormal field. It's like you can tell me that whatever it's saying, but I need to know how this is working to be able to understand whether this is real evidence or not.
Yeah. And you also have people putting out like equipment that, isn't real equipment and claiming for it to be legitimate. So it's hard to know who to trust and who not to trust. So, but that Staticom, that with the white noise, and it filters through in its own system. So to avoid like outside interference, it's pretty cool. It depends on, I don't know deeper into the functioning.
Yeah.
But I use white noise when I work, and I get a lot of good information.
Yeah.
So
as far as the apps go, when we're driving to locations, sometimes we'll throw on an app in the car.
Yeah.
Just to kind of like ask some questions on our way there to, try these things out. We did find one of the apps. I don't know which one it was, but it was like repeating words after every 20 minutes, the same word would come up.
Yeah.
So we were like, okay, well, that's something,
Yeah.
Because at first the word came up and we thought that's great evidence because we were asking questions that coincided with that word. But then we heard the word again, and then we started timing the word. And so
we recognized more words, and we kept like listening, and we realized
it was kind of like on a loop, not a short loop where it could be really noticed. But we're at a 5-hour car ride. We have all the time in the world. Let's throw on an app and see,
test it out.
Yeah.
And so that made me sad.
Yeah. I was sad too.
Yeah, I haven't, one thing that I have a problem with phone apps specifically is like the phones don't necessarily have the sensitive stuff on there to be able to get that information. Sometimes, like if you have like an infrared camera that's in this app that you can use, well, your phone doesn't have infrared capability. Those are expensive cameras. So like it's just putting a filter on there. And if they're putting a filter in the app, then they could put anything they wanted to in the app. So like you said, they could have a loop running where every once in a while you see like a shadow thing go across or something. So yeah, I become a little skeptical of things like that, but yeah, that's not to say that there's not some good apps out there for sure.
Right.
I just make sure you use it a lot to know for sure if you can trust it. That's that's kind of like all equipment. That's science. You test something over and over again until you know for sure that it's legitimate.
And take it to a place that is not haunted.
Yeah.
So that you can test it out there. And then, obviously spirit is everywhere.
Yeah.
So, but, just activity. So there's not usually activity in a place, and then try it out there and then bring it to your location that you're doing it in.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the warning I always give, if you're trying it out, and you're afraid you're going to get spooked, don't do it in your own house.
Yeah.
Go to
Yes. I have a saying for that, but I'm not going to say it.
Yeah. Don't say it here. Children.
Yeah.
All right. Well, so I want to talk to you about some other things. So that was great evidence. Thank you guys for sharing that with me. So I want to talk about a little bit. We got to come and hang out with you on New Era Paranormal Podcast. So how is everything going with that? And have you had fun being able to do interviews and go down to the other side?
I came in, to work, to help out and work with JD, and I've gotten to meet a lot of good people. New Era Paranormal does, they have their investigation side. They have a podcast side, and they do some other things as well. So we're going to be working with them a little more on some of their investigations in the future. Danica and I both, I'll be their work, but Danica, of course, I'll be doing the reading, but we're going to both be there.
Awesome.
And the podcast, still going, we're expanding into kind of different, JD handles the technical side of it, but different platforms. So if it's, Get Haunted or Spirit Channel, or, we've expanded into different areas, and we're in addition to the ones we've already been on. So they're on Spotify and Parapost and going live on YouTube, all of those things. So it seems to be fun. We're meeting a lot of interesting people. I like bringing in paranormal teams from different areas. We've had some fun with paranormal teams from Canada. So, you know, you don't get to talk a lot. Like I see people from overseas, you know, but I don't see a lot from Canada, and Canada has more strict rules than we do here in terms of, you know, paranormal locations. So it's fun to kind of get their input and their thoughts. And, you know, we met some pretty cool people through there. And then, you know, I've had people from the Spirit Realm Network, you know, come on and talk about their shows. And we're going to be premiering. Everything's premiering again. The site was revamped. And so Spirit Realm Network, we have projects going as well with them. So we're moving forward. Nicole Elizabeth is premiering her show. She's doing her first, you know, premiere episode. She's going live, Animal Communication. She's also one of our friends from that core group.
She was one of our very first guests.
Yeah. Yeah, we should probably talk to her again. We've talked
bring
about
her back on, talk about our show.
For sure.
Yeah.
We loved having her on. Yeah.
She's great.
Awesome.
We got lucky with our group of people.
Hell yeah.
I know, right? All these awesome people that I've gotten to meet through all of these for sure. For sure.
So we've got that. Future things for us too through Spirit Realm Network. That we can't really talk about right now. And what else? New Era, Spirit Realm. I mean, we still do investigations with BAM as Private Eye Paranormal. So we have that.
They're still making equipment. So
they're still making equipment. You know, it's been exciting working with, and I'm starting to kind of venture out and work with some other paranormal teams, which is going to be kind of fun and, you know, a different kind of experience for me. You know, everybody seems to be, you know, it started out a little rough in terms of like the people in the paranormal community and, you know, the welcoming, the non-welcoming spirit. But then we kind of, we luckily had our core group of people that we know and those types of connections. And then as we work more and more, we're meeting more and more people and connecting to some really good, you know, legitimate people that really, you know, support each other. So we're finding them piece by piece, you know, and putting that patchwork together, you know, like where, you know, we put evidence up here, you know, that we're not going to falsify anything or pretend something works.
Exactly.
Or, you know, it's that type of core group of people, which is nice. And hopefully it'll keep growing and, you know, we'll see how it goes. Hopefully New Era keeps growing. They have a good platform in terms of they want to bring young people into the paranormal community, which is something, you know, I mean, we've learned, and we're like, you know, we're older, but we've learned coming in, you know, it's hard to even come in as new people into the paranormal world with some of the people that are already there. And so can you imagine being young, you know, fresh and new and, you know, so excited and all these ideas, and you want to, you know, experience it and share your experiences and share your thoughts and ideas, and it gets, you know, squashed. So they're gaining a little traction. We're with the podcast. Oh, geez. Can you still hear us?
Yeah,
yes, we can still hear you.
All right. I think we're just going
to hang in there.
Yeah,
maybe the camera will kick back on.
We're getting ready to wrap it up anyway.
But I think we've got a lot of Halloween spookiness happening. So, but it's ever since the tornado though too, we've had some issues. But the good thing about them is they're gaining a little traction, working with them and experiencing the, you know, this want to bring young people in. I'm starting to see other paranormal people, especially when we were not only at Warren Paracon with Private Eye Paranormal, but we were also with we also hung out with New Era Paranormal at their table as well. So as we were pulling double duty, going back and forth.
Yeah.
So and they were gaining traction with a lot of people from the Warren Paracon. A lot of the people there are, you know, really into kind of working together, helping each other. And so that's how he, you know, JD got connected with Get Haunted and other, you know, other people in the community. And so they showed a lot of support for their want to bring in younger people and encourage it, because if you notice, a lot of the people you see, unless it's a few shows on YouTube, right? A lot of the people that you see on some of the bigger shows or the more well-known shows are older.
Yeah.
They've been around for a while.
A lot of the teams are older people on the teams. So
there's something that we've been talking about recently is it feels like a lot of that has just gone away, especially on like on regular, you know, like cable TV or whatever the stream.
Yeah.
Like we had this huge influx of paranormal television, and I feel like for the most part it's almost all going away. Like if you like your favorite ghost show probably hasn't been renewed at this point.
Yeah.
Right. It's true. Discovery Channel got rid of a lot of the paranormal shows. It's a big thing in the paranormal community now. And so a lot of the, you know, especially like Spirit Realm Network is picking up a lot of paranormal shows and wanting to produce its own content to make up for that loss. And you're going to start seeing it more and more around us, you know, the same kind of thing. You're going to see more shows on other platforms as opposed to on the Discovery Channel. But apparently there's a lot of drama too with Zach Baggins shows, you know, Ghost Avengers being the only one that's on there. So yeah, but you know what? The paranormal has been around. It's sparked an interest for a long time. It's had a high. It's just in a low right now, and I know it's going to kick right back up again.
Yeah,
you know?
I don't think it's at a low. I think that a lot of people are kind of doing their own thing, like on YouTube and such like that. But I'm not quite sure all of those people like take it as seriously as they should, or quite a bit of it might be for entertainment purposes.
Yeah.
And not necessarily like for the research and if you know what I mean.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, I feel like there's been I feel like the shows have gone away, but I don't know if the interest in the paranormal has.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot more people are going out and doing it on their own now instead of just sitting at home and watching something, which is good because, you know, part of actually going is, you know, learning how to do it, not just sitting and watching it on the TV.
Yeah.
But I think that people really did misunderstand what they're getting into, because a lot of times you're sitting there for 8 hours with one little piece of evidence. Never have I been on an investigation where I've gotten 20 pieces of evidence and things are popping up and scaring me, and I'm running through the hall with a demon behind me. Like it's not.
The walls are bleeding and
Yeah,
to get out, and
and there's not a full-bodied apparition in every investigation.
Yeah,
somebody doesn't collapse to the ground and experience physical symptoms every time we do an investigation.
Yeah. Well, you know, that's why I tell people, like, one of the things I realized when I went on my first investigation was, if you're going to sit there and do, you know, an hour-long EVP session, then you got to be prepared to sit there and listen to an hour-long EVP session.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You know, so it's like, so very quickly I started doing small sessions, like that 2 hours, man, you know, because like really quickly, you know, it can turn into a lot of hours of work you have to do once the investigation is over. And it's not easy to do. Yeah.
Or if you set up 3 cameras and it's an 8-hour investigation, you know how many hours you have to watch for each camera.
Exactly.
I really started to love let's do an EVP session and then review it in the location immediately right away and listen for what you get.
We started doing that really quickly.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's still good to have the other ones, but yeah, we started doing that a lot, and then also it helped too because then if you get a response, if you're lucky enough to be able to get a response in the moment, then it can help with your line of questioning.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
Yeah, well, thank you so much for coming on the show. It's our 11:05. We've already gone past the 2-hour mark, and I'm sure we could talk for another 2 hours. So we'll
I'm
just have
sorry
to
you
do it
lost our
again.
pretty faces.
I
We
know.
apologize.
Yeah. So let's
It's
see
a
what we have
demon.
going on over here in the Twitch world tonight, and I'll start lining something up. Who do we have on? Who's jumped on for Halloween tonight? We have
Well, do we need to do our fake finish first?
yeah, we will. So yeah, let's do that. So for everyone who's listening at another time in another place, thank you so much for joining us for this very special episode of the Witching Hours or the Spooky Hours for our 3-year anniversary. We appreciate you guys so much. And until then, we'll see you guys next time. And for everyone who's still hanging out with us, we got bam, there we go, like magic. We'll see who we have. Let me just go through here because I really want to thank everybody, even though I know a lot of people have dropped off because it's late, it's Halloween, people are tired, they've gone to bed. But I mean, we got a tier 4 hype train tonight.
Yeah.
We reached a sub goal of 30. Keisha Mama was giving out subs like crazy. Thank you, Keisha, as always. Shadow Max cheered 100 bits. Thank you to Shadow Max so much. Joe Cunningham gave out 5 community subs. Thank you, Joe, so much. We appreciate it. Keisha was giving out a tier 1 sub to Priestess of Wonderland. Fantasy Animal Vegan gave out a community sub, a gift sub. Keisha gave a gift sub to Luna, Fantasy Animal Vegan, to Joe. Shadow Max gifted a sub to Journey of Self-Discovery. So we just had a ton of you giving tonight, and we appreciate it. Thank you guys so much. It means the world to us to have you guys hang out with us here every Thursday.
And congratulations to Not Getty for winning the shirt.
Yeah, the shirt, the Spooky Hours, we will get it ordered and it'll be to you hopefully within a week or so. So keep an eye out for it. We'll try to get there before all the
post-it note right now.
Before all the stuff. Yeah. So we'll have that going to you. And we'll have more information coming out for the Team Weird takeover soon. We're planning on having tickets go on sale in December. We just want to make sure we have all our I's dotted and T's crossed and all that before we put tickets out there. But it's going to be a fun time. We're looking forward to it. Joe said that you guys need to work together. So is that confirmation, Joe, that you're also coming to Lake Shawnee in June? Or?
Coming to Lake Shawnee in June.
You heard it here, right here.
That would be amazing. All of us are there together. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Spooks will know what to do.
They will.
There we go.
Who are these crazy ass people?
We have
they can all hear us? What?
I'm gonna take a wild guess, and I'm gonna say that Kiki Cannon is on doing tarot. Yeah, and I bet you Kiki Cannon has a cool outfit.
I know, because she is a cosplay like master.
Yeah,
she makes all of her own stuff.
What she's doing, and I haven't looked at the stream, but we're gonna go. Let's go raid Kiki Cannon, everyone. You're on tomorrow night, right, Jenny? Friday night, ready to rock and roll?
Be there. Mm-hmm.
All right, so we'll see most of you guys tomorrow night. I hope you had a wonderful Halloween. Happy Halloween to everybody.
Happy Halloween.
And we will see you guys later. Let's start this raid, and we'll count it down here. We're gonna go give a huge happy Halloween raid to Kiki Cannon. Take care, everybody. Until next time.
Thanks, Alyson.
Thanks.
Hi, thank you.
Oh yeah, she's got some kind of outfit.